Welcome to The Connection Code, a podcast where we explore the relationships that make your life and work just a little bit better.
I'm Jeana Cohen, and I've spent more than 13 years building a business that tricks adults into making friends through fitness, and I'm building a business now that specializes in gatherings in New Buffalo, Michigan called Petite Acres. So I am obsessed with gathering and friendship.
And very good at it. I'm Rachel Rischall. I run a PR firm called 3PR, focused on better for you food brands. I also have a real obsession with introductions and trying to link people who should know each other. It thrills me to no end to make the world a little smaller for good people. Okay, Jeana, are you ready to dive into our big question?
I would love to dive into our big question.
So I've sort of done this thing where I think all our big questions now, if we have a guest, are tied back to them and the subject matter. So today's big ask is tethered to film producer Jolene Rodriguez, who is so incredible, and I'm so excited about the conversation with her. But one of the things that really stood out is that she seems like a very altruistic person who pays it forward a lot. For you, when it comes to extending yourself for others, which you do a lot, who do you try to support the most?
Oh boy. Well, I feel like it's so hard to choose a cause or a person or a type of people, but I think you kind of have to at the end of the day because you only have so much time, which we'll talk about later in this podcast. But I love to invest my time in women, in particular women who are in business, entrepreneurs, or just who maybe have a question about navigating the world in general. I will spend any amount of hours with another woman who just wants to bounce ideas off of somebody else. What about you, Rachel?
Well, I appreciate so much that you do that because I think women who help women are a special subset, and you're always in that camp. I agree with you, but in thinking about this, I have three groups that get the lion's share of my attention. I have a real soft spot for students.
Yeah.
Also, anyone who's recently lost a job. And then last, people who are thinking of going into business for themselves. And since I've been in all three positions and I know how vulnerable it can be, I really see the value of extending advice and some guidance and a helping hand because they just need it more, or it feels to me like it's very appreciated. And I want to be the person that can show up.
Yeah. And I think I could add a category too, because I think that community is really impactful for businesses and at a Sweat Life. I've seen in real life how community is sort of this living organism. So I will talk at no end to other business owners, regardless of their gender.
You're so inclusive.
So inclusive about how to add community to their business, how to think about community. Because at the end of the day, I do think community is very hard, but it's worth it.
Yes. And you do pour a lot of time and energy into community-driven activities and events, and I think that's a wonderful thing. So women and community for you, students, job seekers who are out of employment, and potential new business owners.
Yeah.
If that's one of you, come to us.
Yeah. I think for both of us, it's the people who just instinctually, you want to ask the question, how can I help? How can I help? And it doesn't always come out because you don't always think of a way you can help. So like for students, you remember very, very vividly, Rachel, what it was like for you to be new in the business world and the people who helped you. Same for business owners, same for when you lost your job, like all of those moments in your life, people stepped up for you and now you get to do it too. And I feel like that's true for me too. There were people who stepped up and helped me, but there were also people who didn't, and you remember that too. So you want to be better.
100%. Like there are people who have a gold star still for the way they took a meeting right away or gave some impactful advice or just held my hand a little bit more when I needed it. And I want to be a gold star person too.
Yeah. And our guest today seems to be that gold star as well. I'm so excited to talk with her.
Yes, we'll go into it, but I met Jolene not realizing how impressive she was and then figured it out afterwards. So I'll just give a little primer before we dive into the interview. She's the CEO of Broken English Productions, and she previously worked for 10 years at Sony Pictures Entertainment. She was named one of Variety's 10 producers to watch, and she's a champion, like a legit champion of diversity and inclusion, both in front of and behind the camera. I think she really walks the walk. And she created a nonprofit called Friends of Julie in honor of her late twin sister. She just feels like a mensch.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it from Jolene.
Hi, Jolene. Thank you for being here.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Okay, so Jeana and I like to talk about connection chemistry and when you meet somebody and you instantly spark and you just know that you want to be friends with them. And we had that chemistry. So I met you a few weeks ago at most at an event through Veronica Garza for Siete Foods. And I just felt such an instant connection to you. So I feel very grateful that you made the time to be here today.
Oh, thank you. I was telling Veronica, I'm like, right when I walked in, I said hello to her, and I was like, can you point me to Rachel, please? So just through email, I knew I wanted to know you. So there you go.
Oh, I love this. What's also really funny is that we had this wonderful conversation. I felt completely dialed in with you, but I did not know really anything about you, which is not my way of being. But then once I knew that we were going to do this interview, I'm like, I should research Jolene, only to learn that you're incredible and an accomplished film producer and have this illustrious career. So we'll dive into all of it. But there's one thing that caught my attention that was so full of moxie and so bold that we have to start there.
Okay.
You were an intern at 25 at Sony Pictures, and when it ended, you just didn't leave. So please explain more.
This is true. This is true. I was an intern there, and I kind of ruined their system a little bit. They didn't have structure, and it worked out great for me. So I wish that it continued that way for other people. But now they create structure because I ruined it. But they give you a badge, and no one really they didn't put an expiration date on it. So I kept showing up, and there was a point where, and also like I was super hardworking. I would show up twice a week for my days, and I would read and I'd do all the things they needed. So it wasn't like I was a pain. So at some point though, it was like months had gone by, and they're like, why is she still here? And the journal
Were you being
managers,
paid?
no, this is before they had paid internships. I just kept
So
showing
you
up.
were doing this for free.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I was working my way into just the system of the studio system, and now that people get paid, oh, like I'm telling you, I seriously ruined this program where they started having to pay people. It was a whole thing, and so Pam Kunith was a GM at the time, and she was just like, "Why is she still here?" And Brian was an assistant at the time, and he told me, "Pam wants to know why you keep showing up." And I was like, "Well, my badge works, and I really want to work here." And so until it doesn't work, I'm going to keep showing up. And eventually they gave me an assistant job, and it worked out well, but I wouldn't recommend anyone else do that because if I get security, will walk them out. But I luckily, that didn't happen for me. And I was one of the lucky ones.
I can't believe, first of all, that even occurred to you. That where do you think you got that? Where did that idea come from? Where did that chutzpah to just have that instinct that like, no, I will keep showing up at this place until they give me a job.
Uh, they never said no, so I just kept doing it. I don't know. I just was like, I want to be here, and I want to do this really bad, and I know I can do it. And I mean, at that time, I was already using my Sony email. It doesn't say intern on it. It just says Jolene.Rodriguez or whatever it was at Sony SPE. And so I was using that email, sending it out to like anyone who would listen to me. So I was getting meetings with it. I don't know. I've always kind of just went out there and did my thing and seen it. And what's the worst could happen? They're going to say no. They're not going to respond. Like I've
Yeah.
always kind of moved that way. So, and I was an older intern. It wasn't like I was 19. I wasn't timid by this
Right.
world. I was already a supervisor of in another area of my life and a different job. So it wasn't like, it wasn't like I walked in there and felt like I was lucky. I was so lucky that to be there. I was like, you're lucky to have me. That's what I thought. Like, I'm great. I'm going to change the world. I don't know.
I think there is power in act as if,
Yeah.
and clearly that tenacity paid off.
Mhm.
To fill in the blanks a little bit, what were you doing before, and how did you end up at 25 saying, I'm going to take an unpaid internship and start my career over?
I was a police dispatcher in Seal Beach, and yeah, the naval weapons
Wow.
station in Seal Beach. And been taking classes for quite a while because I had got married so young, had my daughter so young, to where I couldn't just go to school full time. I had to have a job and I had to take a couple classes at a time, 1 to 2 classes at a time until I got to where I needed to be. And thankfully, while I was doing that, the supervisor I had at when I was a dispatcher, he was extremely helpful and was able to work my schedule to where I was working nights or super early in the morning, or had work weekends instead, and had Tuesdays and Thursdays off so I could intern. Like he helped me so much to get this done. And also, I have family who helped me with my daughter and my son at the time, and my husband was in Iraq at some point and then came back, and he was in Texas, he was in the military. So there was a lot of different things happening in my life. And even during, this is like the second time me talking about this, I had just first time talking about it because it was hard for me to say. But at that time as well, I was interning a police dispatcher. My son was 1, I think, and my daughter was like 5. My husband was gone. And then my twin sister, Julie, got diagnosed with leukemia. So all these things are happening. And I just was like, I have to do this. And I fell into the entertainment industry because I was taking college courses, like at a community college, Golden West Community College, and taking like screenwriting classes and production and editing. And I was like, oh, I can do this. And I wrote a script and I was like, I want to be a writer. And then when I got to Screen Gems, I okey doke my way into Screen Gems as well, or into Sony as well. But like, I deserved it. I worked hard, and I really truly believe that this all was meant to happen for me. But I started reading really good scripts. I remember I read The Town, and I was like, oh, I'm not a good writer, but I can give really good notes. And so I and I was like, I didn't even know the development department existed, which is why internships are so important. Because I was like, oh, wait, I can work in development and read scripts and give notes and actually like work on movies in the development department. That was so cool. So I don't know, it just all happened the way it did. There was no planning, I promise you. It was just, I never was like in 3rd grade, be like, I want to be a film producer. I just was able to try different things, and this is what I love.
Your life feels like a movie. Like somebody could do an adaptation of Jolene, and you can see the montage of you hustling between positions and being a parent and your husband. I mean, and I absolutely want to talk about your sister, and I'm just going to acknowledge how important that is and earmark it, because I want to close out our interview because that was part of our initial bond, and I'll go into why. But I just essentially want to applaud you because that sounds so hard and you did it. But the thing that you just said that I really loved, that I don't think women say out loud, is I deserved it.
Deserved it. Yeah.
Jeana, I felt like you knew that too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I heard you say it and I was like, yeah, you fucking did.
I'll be honest, maybe at the moment I wasn't thinking that. I think I was probably just moving so quickly, and I'm like, I want this so bad. But now when I look back, I'm like, it happened for me because I do deserve this. Like, yeah.
Full body goosebumps, Jolene. And I also like just hearing you describe that time too. Like I'm getting like emotional just like playing it back with you, because my mom and dad both went back to school when I was a kid, like you're describing too. Like they were young when they had my sister and me. And I like to this day am like, I don't know how you did it. I do not know how you did it. And like your kids, I'm sure already remember that time and remark on that time and say things to their friends about how incredible you were during that time, because it made an impression on me too. So I just wonder, like, what is their reflection on that time to you? Have you had conversations with them about it?
You're making me emotional.
We're criers.
Yeah, we can cry.
No,
it's fine.
My son was very little, so he doesn't remember. My daughter, I think she remembers bits and pieces. And also during that time, my sister was sick, so she doesn't remember too much because I think that's her way of dealing with it. She definitely remembers things, but there's lots of things she blocks out. But I think now, looking back, like yesterday, I premiered a film, and there's red carpet, and there's all the things, an after party, and my son and my daughter on the stage, and like behind the DJ with me, and I think they're very much in awe of, I would think, of me now. And sometimes I had hosted something a couple weeks ago. And my son, he trips. I don't know if he trips out, but he made a comment to one of the executives there, and was like, I can't believe all you guys want to be here to see my mom. Not like he couldn't believe it. He was like,
yes.
He was like, you guys all want to be here to see my mom and want to do, talk to her. And he's like, and all I get is like, take the trash out. So, they're aware, and it's lovely. And I'm happy that, like I don't know. I every day I'm just so grateful, and I can't believe like the moment I start feeling like not that I don't deserve this, but the moment I start feeling like not surprised by every day waking up to this life is going to be a problem. Like I need to be
Mm.
humbled, and every day I wake up so excited and still can't believe that this is my life in the best way possible.
I mean, I know we just met, but I'm immensely proud of you. I just feel like this is a hero's journey. And
Yeah.
there is something really special when your kids can see you shine. And I haven't had so many moments, but every once in a while, I feel like my daughters will be like, you did that? Or there's like some flash of recognition that I'm not just the person who drives them places and plans their social
Yeah.
life, but that I actually have some purpose in the world. And it's so validating where they like connect the dots and they're like, oh, mom's out there doing something. And
Hmm.
you are so clearly doing something, which is another theme I surfaced about you. I think not in the Hollywood landscape by any means, but it does not seem like it's a real culture of generosity and that everybody's just like itching to pay it forward. But you do seem like an exception and somebody who really prioritizes giving back and lifting other people up with you. So, where did that come from and how do you do it?
Um, I would like to say probably my mom. She had siblings that she took care of growing up, and their kids were always around. We kind of grew up in the same house at many times throughout my life, and just us always taking care of each other. She had 8 siblings, younger siblings, and there was just lots of kids all around us and lots of family. And I just saw how they didn't always have money and things were hard, and but they never acted that way. And they always just everyone always shared, and everyone it just was they always were putting others ahead of them, and that's probably not the best thing, but their kid for me it was their kids. They made sure their kids ate before them, and things weren't always lovely like I said, but it never felt like we were in desperate need, even though at times I'm sure we were, but as kids we didn't know better. And I don't know, I've always and my kids are the same way because I'm that way, and I think I picked up from my mom and her family and her siblings that like to this day they like show up for each other in such a strong way, and are always so positive in it, even though things aren't always great. And so I've always just moved that way. And I think that's how Friends of Julie even came about was me being so generous and giving with my time and resources. And I needed to, and not that that's a bad thing, but I needed to be more intentional about it and, and who was getting it and who, because I can't just give it to everyone because not everyone deserves it.
Yes. So let's talk about Friends of Julie because
Mhm.
when we were having our heart to heart moment when we met, you said I had this twin sister. I have a twin sister, and I said, "Oh, I'm raising twin girls," and we had this sort of really deep, heartfelt moment around the twin connection. And then Friends of Julie is in her honor. So please share about it because I think it's such a beautiful testament to your sister.
Like I said, I think the way we grew up, it was always she was just like that as well. She was even more so in a way of she was very motherly and a good listener and so soft and gentle in a way where you just like want to lean on her. And I just wanted to keep her name alive. I for many years I couldn't even say her name for so many years because
Mm.
this wouldn't be happening right now. I'd be crying. And that's because I wasn't dealing with it and I didn't deal with it and I had a lot of healing to do. And through this process, it also still I'm still healing, and it's been healing doing Friends of Julie, working on it, and saying her name out loud every day. Every day we talk about it,
Mhm.
and I just wanted to be more intentional, and I wanted to put there a reason behind it and create a legacy with behind her. So when I'm gone, and it will live on. Her name will continue to be said because we built this really rad nonprofit organization that gives.
And so, y- Friends of Julie is a fellowship for first-time women directors, female directors, right? What is? Can you talk through a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, we do that. There's a little bit of that, but it's
Hmm.
also geared towards younger, like kids, elementary schools, junior highs, high schools, young adults, and providing resources, teaching them. And on top of that, and I've said this many times, when I was in high school, and it had lots of, there's reasons why, but, and I'm sure everyone goes through it, but I wouldn't have said, even if I knew I wanted to be a film producer, I probably wouldn't have said it because I didn't have the confidence or whatever it was I needed to say that. And I just want to go in there and talk to these kids, and they don't have to be filmmakers. I've said this, they can do whatever they want, but sometimes you can't even put words to what that is. You don't even know how to say it. You don't know how to you navigate it yet. And I just want to provide them with resources about just loving themselves, because that's where it starts, and not the exterior validation, because that fades so fast and you're all alone all over again, feeling like whatever it is that you're searching for and you're not enough when you are. So it's really about teaching them to have the confidence in themselves. Not about me, it's about them, so that they can say, oh, I want to go out and do these things and be prepared for it in the world. And because if you're not right in your heart and your head, you can have all the things. You can have the cool stuff, but it doesn't matter. And I think that's the big part of what we want to teach them at a young age, so they're not spending all their money on therapy in the future. Like, deal with it now as kids, and teach them about filmmaking, storytelling, and all that stuff as well. And we just did a really cool 5K over the weekend and raised some money, so we're gonna buy some cameras, equipment, and things like that for them. But teach them, just to make films and find the excitement that this even exists, by the way. They don't even know that they can be film producers or storytellers in any way, or writers. So it's really showing them, like, there's more to it than working at whatever this is that you know of.
And you're sort of acting as this, I want to call you almost like a Sherpa. Like you're showing them a path, guiding them through this maybe like life path that they haven't even had any awareness of. I'm curious if you had people in the business who acted that way for you, who showed you different potential paths for you along the way too.
No, I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't have anyone in the industry and within my family. Like, I didn't have anyone surrounded. I fell into this, and then when I did,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely would call and like email and try to get a hold of anyone I could who to give me advice or how to deal with things. Even to this day, I'm so lucky to have a lovely group of people who I can really lean on, who have been doing this a lot longer than I have. But I didn't know. I just kind of just felt it out myself and was like, okay, this makes sense. I definitely know I don't want to do that. Or, yeah, no, I didn't have that.
I admire this because I often think that if you didn't get a good mentor or people didn't show up for you as you were climbing, it could be very tempting and easy to say, I don't need to do it for other people,
Yep.
right? Like, you get kind of trapped in that mindset of, I'm not going to do what wasn't done for me. But you are very deliberately giving back, and I think that's amazing. I have a little bit of a fixation on Gen Z because I'm really pinning my hopes that they're going to figure out how to solve all our mistakes. But as you're maybe mentoring Gen Z talent or connecting with these younger kids, like, what are you seeing and noticing that hopefully we can feel optimistic about?
I think they are craving connection, and they do get excited
Yeah.
about learning. They want to learn. And I mean, they ask the most ridiculous questions, but I don't think there's any, like, I ask ridiculous questions as a full grown adult, so there's no knocking them. But it's always like very, very, like, how much money do you make? And I'm like, don't ask that, guys. Come on. Like, ask them, come on, do better. But, they are curious, which is, for me, is one of the biggest things. It's like, stay curious. I tell them all the time. But there is, I think, a craving of like community for sure, because they're on their phones all the time and they're just stuck in their ways. And it's like, thank goodness that we're going to create these programs and hopefully build it out to beyond my area. And then hopefully we can change the world, starting with the kids.
Yes.
That's where it's at.
We have to say something about the money question because it is so funny to talk to kids and younger people about money. My daughter goes, "Are we thousandaires?" And I was like, yes, we have over $1,000. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. 100 euro.
Wow.
Yeah, but like, and you can guess, Jeana, who's always asking me about money. Shira.
I feel like Shira, yeah.
It is. Because she wants to spend it. Like, do we have $1,000 so I can go
Can I
shopping?
spend it?
Yes, but I do think there's something both off-putting and also very refreshing about people who ask the question you're not supposed to say out loud.
Oh yeah, I'm here for that. Yeah.
Rachel,
Oh, she was trying to give you. I was like looking at you
I feel
because
like you're leaving space for me to ask a question. And
I
then
am.
someone
It's
else-
Jolene.
and
Welcome
I-
to Jeana and I both being such talkers that we have to give each
Yeah.
other secret eye signals so we don't step on each other's toes.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, so Rachel and I try to leave space for each other to ask questions in case. So Rachel asked the last question. She was leaving space for me, but I felt like you were on a roll and you would want to ask about the twin thing. Do you want to ask?
If it's okay, Jolene,
Oh,
okay. I think there is something really, really beautiful about the bond between twins and particularly twin sisters. And I just, if you wanted to, didn't know if there's anything else you want to share in honor of Julie or about her memory or um, just the inspiration she left with you. I feel like maybe it's played a role in you climbing this ladder and being such a badass executive and doing all these things. I mean, I'm pretty blown away by the path you carved with nobody helping you and you being a police dispatcher and a mom and an intern.
no, I definitely had people helping me, just not in the industry. I have I can like I have aunts and like my tia Tony. She's on like she's I'm just so happy. Like she told me the other day, she's like, I'm so happy that I'm alive to witness this because she's my mom's the second oldest, and so and I was just on the phone and I'm like, it's so crazy to me that you guys look at me the way you do because literally I'm like a moron. So,
No, no.
but I had a lot of support, and Julie definitely was the catalyst in all of this. I say this, and I have to say it out loud all the time to myself because I definitely wouldn't be here. I asked myself, I'm like, if she was here, would I be doing this? And she enabled me a lot growing up. Like I could do no wrong, which sometimes was not a good thing. Um, but she definitely believed in me in a way that no one else did. And she, like, I could just make up the most ridiculous things I want to do. And she'd be like, yeah, you should do that. And I was a little bit of a pain in the ass growing up, as far as like I was like I don't want to say I was a bad twin because that's not the case. I wasn't. I just was more of a risk taker, and I need to stop saying that because that's not the truth. I wasn't bad. I just was a little bit of an ass sometimes, and was a big risk taker, and she wasn't. She lived life very very safe, I would say, and so I kind of got the bad rep of the two of us, and she never looked at me like that. She always looked at me as just she was just like, you're figuring it out. And even when we were older, I mean, she was 20, 26 when she passed. Um, and even then she still was like, just when when I got my, when I went to go, uh, interview for my internship for Sony, she had got diagnosed a month later. And so
Mm.
she got diagnosed February 3rd in 2009. And I came home and I was telling her, I'm like, I don't think I got it because it was three people I had to interview. Like three women were interviewing me. I've never done that before. That's crazy. And, I go to Golden West Community College and I said I was transferring to Chapman University on my resume. I'm not transferring to Chapman. I like BS. I thought, I mean, it was the plan. It was part of the plan. It didn't happen though. And
Mm.
no, she's like, what are you talking about? She was leaving at dinner. She's like, you got this. And she walked out like so nonchalant, like just believed it so deeply. Like, you're crazy. You got this. And left. And when that night, Erica Coates, who's now the COO of another company, she was an assistant at the time, called me. I missed the call and left a voice. She left a voicemail that I got the internship. And I called my sister instantly. She's like, I told you, I got to go. I'm at dinner. And so, like, whatever about it. I was like, I was like, what? This is crazy. I was so happy. And she was just like, she believed in me so deeply that I didn't even, like, before I even got the interview, I had the interview in her head and I already had, like, got the job. So, yeah, I just, she's just so special. It's just
I
crazy.
mean, do you think she was also really intuitive or she just had such conviction because she knew you?
I think she just truly believed that I deserved these things, and she
Mm.
wanted it for me and it was going to make me happy. And she was the more like, I want to be a stay at home mom, and you go figure this out so I can be a stay at home mom, because if you make it in some way, then I would obviously help her. And I don't know. I think she just believed in me and she always had. And that's why she probably enabled me a little bit too. Cause I don't know. It was this deep love that you guys just, people would, unless you have a twin, you just wouldn't get.
She was
That's
like
why, like,
manifesting.
yeah, and someone had told me recently, like, oh yeah, that twin privilege, and I was like, oh, I love that. I'm going to use that.
What do you think twin privilege is? Is it like just that deep knowing that someone loves you and understands you?
uh, yeah, and well, I went to when I was pregnant with my daughter, I wanted twins so bad. This is how it came about. I wanted twins so bad because I don't know life without a twin. Now I do because I'm forced, but at the time I didn't.
Hmm.
And I was like, I told my husband, I'm like, I don't want my child to walk. they're gonna have to walk to school alone and they're gonna have to like do life alone. And he's like, everyone does. You're the one that doesn't. Like you're the only one that like you're a twin, so everyone walks to school alone. Like you're worried
Yeah.
about the wrong things. And I was telling someone that, and then I was like, I just know all I know is I had my sister with me all the time, and they're like, oh, twin privilege. Like, and so I was like, oh, I like that. Just having someone by your side through life, through everything since out the womb, in the womb, and to just be able to have someone all the time with you, it's probably not the healthiest thing, but we weren't codependent. I want to be very clear on that. It was more of like I never worried about her not being there. Like if she didn't answer my phone, I was like, oh my God, is she mad? It was more of, oh, all right, well, I guess I'll wait for her to call me back. Like I don't know. I just
Oh,
adore her so
I
much.
love hearing this because
Mhm.
I don't think so. I have fraternal twin girls, and I don't think they view it as a privilege at all. I think they see it as a punishment right now, and there is a lot of conflict and posturing. But there is something really fundamentally interesting about watching. So Shira was yelling at Kayla like, I'm doing my homework. Leave me alone. I don't even want you in the kitchen. And so Kayla storms off. And then 2 seconds later, Shira goes, Kayla, come back. What is the assignment and how do I get started? Like she was like, I want my space and I need you this minute. And like Kayla's her external hard drive. She's always like, Kayla, what's my password? Kayla, what did that teacher say in class? Kayla, who was that girl again that was in our cabin 2 years ago that had red hair? And so there's this interdependence, and Shira's the big personality and she's more bombastic and charming and like willing to walk into anything. And Kayla retains all the information, more of an observer, more careful in what she does, more of a rule follower. But I can only hope the way you talk about this love and this connection, this privilege manifests before they graduate.
I mean, they didn't even know it though. That's the thing. Like I didn't know it at the
Yeah.
time, but I did, but I didn't. Like you are together the whole time, and so it is sometimes a little annoying because you're like, I need space. Like I want to walk home alone today. Like in 10th grade, I remember thinking something along those lines, but there was a reason why. It wasn't. It was a very stupid reason, and I like remember thinking like right now. I'm like I remember that day, but there was like she also like Julie did not. She was not like she didn't hold back because she was like I don't want you here right now because I'm gonna go do this thing. She was so she didn't. It wasn't that she didn't care about my feelings. It was like this is what I want to do and I'm gonna do it. And I want to be. She was very into boys like early on, and she like wanted to be with her boyfriend alone, and you needed to go away. And I was like okay, like I'm gonna go with my friends then. Oh, I could never. I was such a. I was so concerned about her feelings all the time that I could never talk to her that way. Like I could never tell her like I don't want you to walk with me today because I want to do this thing. It was probably something bad. So like she would have told me I can't do that. So, uh, but no, like she definitely didn't hide her feelings, and I was like so admire her for that. It's just taking me time to speak my mind the way I wish I could, like her,
Oh,
and
Yeah.
and I'm like that. It's so crazy because I am such people say this, and I believe it as well. Like I am such a boss at work, but in my personal life, I kind of suck at it, and I'm like. I babysit other people's feelings and I feel responsible for them because I'm like, I can't speak my truth when I want to. She was not like that. She was like, I'm not going to like lose sleep over this. I need to say what's in my head right now or my heart and not in a mean way, in a very just, I'm
yes.
going to protect like, I'm first, not you. And I love that about her.
Honestly, I feel like as you talk about her, you hear people say like, I hope their memory is a blessing after someone passes. But hearing you speak about her, like her memory is truly a blessing. Like it is adding to your life. You're thinking about her when you're encountering situations in a way where you almost are going to her for advice, you know?
Oh, yes. Yes, for sure. And sometimes I have to check myself a little bit like, ooh, Julie would be pissed if she knew you were doing this. Like putting someone else before you and like sacrificing your own heart and feelings. And it was always a conversation between us. So as a full grown adult, like a few weeks ago, I was like, "What are you doing? Nope, stop." If Julie was here, she would not be happy with you. So there's definitely those moments of get it together without her being here.
A little what would Julie do?
Hmm.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Oh, I love that. Should we have a connection conversation?
Let's do it.
Yes. And I'm going to ask one more question before because I forgot to double up on one. So, Jolene, I loved the show The Studio, and I'm curious if you watched it and if you felt at all that it was like your life in any way, shape or form.
So I worked at Sony for 10 years. Seth Rogen
Mhm.
had a deal at Sony when I was there. So
Yep.
what he's doing is very familiar. I'll just say that. I don't want to like get in trouble, but it's very, very familiar. Like I know exactly who he's talking about in some of these situations. I'm like, ooh, I remember that happening. So it's very real, just so you know. It's a very real. And I don't think it's just a Sony thing. I think it's real at every studio. And there's so much ego and so much I'm smarter than you or I know better. And let's be honest, we don't know shit. It's creative nonsense. Like it's all subjective. We're all trying our best. Like if we all were so great at what we're doing, when we have number one box office hits every weekend, making a gazillion dollars, like give me a break. Like it's so like shiny or whatever. But I'm like, come on now, like it's so silly, and the marketing strategies and the like multicultural. When he goes over there, the whole thing, everything. Yes, yes, I watch it. Yes, it's real. Yes, I've seen it, and I've been in some of those rooms. It's fucking hilarious.
Okay, now that we're on this thread, I have to ask one more question too.
Yeah.
So you are so frank, which I think is really refreshing and bracing to just call it out. Is it hard to be in this industry where you seem like a very genuine connector and somebody who wants to have your relationships, and a lot of people are living in these bubbles? Like, how do you navigate those spaces?
Of just being authentic and genuine.
Yes.
Uh,
Share your wisdom with us.
I think honestly, I think that the people who love it, and I'm for those people, and the ones who find me to be a little too much or like I'm hurting their ego or whatever it is, I'm like, all right, well then you're not for me. And there's so many people, whether it's an actress or a director, another producer, a studio exec, where they're like, there's everyone has issues with everyone. Like, who cares? Deals fall apart every day, and then you get mad, and then you move on. But that doesn't like mean I'm like I'm gonna be like I'm not working with that person ever again. Like, no one wants to intentionally fucking not make a deal with you. Like, whatever. Um, but it's like don't take things personal. I think the biggest thing is don't take things personal. You're not the only one, and just stop being silly. This is just like we're just making movies. Uh, I don't know. I just move the way I do, and I kind of like don't take myself so serious. I can't. I can't take myself like at home. What I deal with on a daily basis. How can I take this too serious? Unless like when I'm on set and I'm making a movie and we have a schedule, that's when things are real to me. When I'm like, okay, we're in it. Let's go. Money's involved. People's time, etc. Then I'm on it. But when we're like in the process of doing these things, when people get so crazy about things, and I'm like, yes, I am very direct, and I'm like, give me a break. You're acting crazy right now. Like I definitely will say that. Or I'll say, don't work with me. Like we don't have to do this. Like there's a million other producers you can work with, and there's a million other actors I would like to work with as well. Like we're not married to this, and we're never married to this. And to be honest, like in the beginning, I always ask a million questions. I naturally just ask questions as it is. I'm mad annoying sometimes, but I will ask question after question because I have to spend the next year with you. Do I even want to spend the next 5 minutes with you? You're already annoying me. How am I going to do this? And if I'm already annoying you, because I know I'm annoying too, sometimes I annoy myself. Like, how are we going to do this? Is it going to be worth it? How much do you want this? And sometimes we can bicker and then we can get through it. But if we're going to bicker for the next 6 months, forget about it. I don't have time for that. Like, I'm going to work with someone I would love to work with, and that's that. And vice versa. You don't have to work with me. I always say this, like, I know who I am. I'm not easy to deal with. I have an opinion, whatever. But like, just be cool. It's not that serious. I'll see you at the red carpet. Calm down. It'll be all right.
Well, you're kind of bringing up going just one more question before our connection conversation. You're kind of bringing up these long production cycles. There are a lot of people involved. There, the financiers, there, the talent, the writers. Like, how are you sort of managing the different sort of connections, the rituals, the timelines, and keeping everyone on one like a personal level, making the friendships that you need to have in that time, and also on a professional level, keeping everyone moving? Are there any rituals?
No, I don't think there's rituals. I mean, I feel like the line producers don't get enough love, but they're the ones that really keep it together. I say, I ain't shit without my line producer. And they don't get the credit. I get the credit of keeping things in line.
Wait, is a line producer like a line cook?
A line
Like the
producer
person who's
and
doing the groundwork?
yeah, I mean, not necessarily the groundwork, but they're keeping everything together as far as like the budget, the schedule, they're like making like in the initial prepping, they make those things happen, and they're like the really good ones will be like, all right, we're having weekly meetings Tuesdays with these department heads, and we're going to make sure this, that, and the other. And so you kind of keep things moving along during prep. And then I just show up, and then everyone listens to me say what I have to say, and it's really like that person's the doing of creating all this. And I like to. And the other thing is like, why not give the credit to where it's deserved? Like, come on, I just get to show up, and that's not fair. So uh, what was the question again?
Rituals, managing connections. You're answering it beautifully.
Yeah, I don't. There's no ritual. We just get to like I said, I try not to take it too serious. We have a budget, we have a schedule, stick to it. Manage all the personalities. I think that's the big thing for me is like, okay, that person clearly needs to be seen. Make sure you see them every day. Not to the point where it's going to annoy you because then it's going to be a problem, but make sure that you see them. That actress or that actor needs this. Okay, this one, make sure they have their water, blah, blah, blah. Not my job, but make sure to everyone else is aware of their needs because then that way everything is smooth. It's not that serious. Like, okay, she wants a water, he wants a water and a specific kind. Okay, it's annoying, but just do it. Um, Everyone wants to have an opinion on like creative. Sometimes you got to just stop it from the beginning and be like, I love this for you, but today's not the day or this isn't the job. Just I think,
Kind of sounds like a family reunion, and like you're the matriarch and you're like, here's your snacks, here's the activities, here's what's going on.
yeah,
Everybody loves each other, but like you can drive each other a little bit crazy,
yeah,
and we have a shared goal of making a good time.
yeah. And I think part of it is I want to walk away with everyone feeling good because let's be honest, there's, like 50 people, 60 people, depending on what kind of movie you're making. And not everyone is seen or they make all this stuff happen. Like I said, I get to show up and I get to do my thing, but without all of them, this isn't happening. And I would like for them to feel acknowledged. And if you want to be a great leader, you have to like give everyone their love that they need and the way they need to be seen. And that's what I want. I don't need gifts or any of that stuff. What I want is quality time. I say this all the time. Not for my crew, but
Your
just in
love
general.
language.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm just like just pay attention to what people's needs are and everything will be okay. It's not gonna be perfect, that's for sure. Everyone there's always that one complainer where I'm like, all right, this is what we're gonna do for the next 3 months or whatever it is. But you just deal with it. It's worth it. For me, it is. It's worth it.
All right, let's have a connection conversation, Rachel. What do you think?
I think we should. I mean, clearly we could keep talking to Jolene and trying to find out everything about her.
I
Okay,
know.
Jolene, I sent these to you in advance just so you could think it through if you wanted, or we can be spontaneous. But who is the last connection you made?
Oh, you sent me an email with these? Just kidding. Um, uh, the last over the weekend, I hosted this 5K for Friends of Julie, and there was another 5K going on, which the lady who was our partner didn't tell us, the restaurant on the beach, and I was like, how are we going to do this? Like, people are going to be confused.
Competing
It's fine.
5K.
We'll move a few towers down. We're on the beach. And so everyone was confused. So they're coming to us and they're like, so what is this? And I'm like, and I was explaining to them and they're like, oh, that one's for a supplement company. I'm like, oh, well, which one do you want to do? You want to run for a supplement company or you want to run for Friends of Julie? Do you want to be a friend of Julie? So anyways, I'm going back and forth and this one woman walked up and she was like, I'm from Spain, but I just want to run a community. I found this 5K and I'm like, you're at the wrong 5K. I'm gonna be honest with you, but you're at the right 5K because this is what you need. And you're not even from here and you're just trying to look for a 5K. And that's what this one is over here is this, and this is what this is. And I just instantly, I was just like, I adore you and I want to be friends with you. And her name is Laura and she was just so lovely. And I just, when you just know, and I
That's
just,
the name of my
Yep.
sister. Yeah.
Yep, Laura.
yeah. Yeah, and I was
Oh,
like, I'm like, Jillian, my daughter, I'm like, Jillian, where are you at? Get her information, get her phone number. We're gonna go to Spain. We're going to Barcelona. Like, it's like yeah, my
Yeah.
poor daughter, she was like, what in the world's going on? But yeah, I mean that one, and I'm sure honestly, I make connections every day. Like the intern yesterday that was working the door for our premiere, he was lovely. His name was Ricardo. Yeah, I just talk to anyone. I basically talk to a tree. Like I just love talking to people. So
you're a natural connector.
That's
yeah.
perfect. Well, that also, I'm curious if you were to talk to yourself maybe before you were Jolene, who kept her badge and kept showing up to work. Uh, what advice would you give to your younger self about connecting that you sort of learned through all these years?
Um, be genuine. Know when to be vulnerable. Not everyone deserves that.
Hmm.
Uh, and do things for the right reasons. Because I'm telling you, every time I've ever navigated a situation where I was trying to like get something out of it, and not that it was the wrong reasons, but I was doing it for the wrong reasons. At the end of the day, it wasn't genuine. It never worked out. It always backfired. Or I always felt I didn't feel good about it, or the person ended up being a real asshole, and I'm like, well, that was my own fault because I wanted to connect so badly with this person, and they ended up being a dick. What a waste of time for me. But that tells you don't do things for the wrong reasons, and within the first few minutes. I mean, I do anyways. When I'm like, because I know people were connecting with me because I'm so straightforward and just direct, and if it's not for you, you're gonna be scared. You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, she's so annoying. Did you hear her? And you're gonna walk away, or you're gonna be like, oh, I love her directness. I'm here for that. So I try to, I would just continue to do what I do. I've always been like this since I was a kid. So I think anyways, but I would just continue to move the way I do.
I love that. And it is true. I think you're making really excellent points. And anytime I've tried to convince myself to do something, even as I could see the red flag straight ahead, and I was like, it's going to work out, it's going to work out. And then it absolutely implodes. And you're like, I should have honored those feelings from the get go.
Rachel, can I tell you that sometimes I see red flags as red hearts as well, and then there are actual red flags. So let's not fool ourselves. We got to really recognize those things.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I know. I've seen them flying in the wind and been like, it's kind of heart shaped, right? Like I could glimpse this through a different, more generous, optimistic lens. Oh, Jolene, I am saving that. Oh, that was like my entire dating life in my 20s was like, oh, red flag or red heart.
Oof.
Okay, final question, Jeana, from you.
For me? Okay. So, Jolene, your world is different than maybe the connections that I have every single day. But I'm curious, even though you are connecting with tons of creative folks, actors, directors, is there anybody in your world or outside of it that you haven't connected with yet that you would love to connect with?
Dream connection.
Dream.
Whoever owns, no doubt's doing a residency in Vegas. Whoever owns that, wherever that's happening at, I need to know that person because I need to know Gwen Stefani. That's like I love Gwen Stefani. Like that's the only person I'll ever fangirl
Same.
like a weirdo and be like, I love you. Like I probably would freak out and just walk away.
Tragic Kingdom changed my life.
Tragic Kingdom. No, it's I just and that was like I was a kid, so I don't
Yeah.
care though. And I'm an Orange County girl, so I'm right there. She's an Orange County girl. Look at 714
Okay.
Yeah.
on my necklace.
Yes. Oh, you can figure this out. Based on everything you've shared, there's no
you've
way
got
you're
this.
not going to be friends with Gwen Stefani by the end of the residency.
You'll see.
Yes.
Yeah. I really feel like I would like for you to close the loop on this, Jolene, and send us a photo of you with Gwen Stefani. But it will only be complete to me if she has her signature bleach blonde hair, which she obviously still has, is in a crop top and is wearing those low rise jeans, leaning just a little bit back and
Yes.
belting her heart out.
Yes.
You know, like I need that for you.
So you want me on stage with her? Okay, got it.
Okay,
Obviously.
yeah, basically, yes.
Mhm.
All right, fine. I'll do it.
Okay, for you.
Done.
Well, Jolene,
Oh.
before we, I guess, hit the road, is there anything you want people to know about you? Where can they find you? What should they type into their browser? Not Firefox.
And what should they go watch that you're working on?
Yeah.
We just finished Border Hunter. Sony bought it. Wait, when does this release?
Congrats. Probably in the next few weeks.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're good. I was like, we have to sign our contract. Don't release them all. Border Hunters, it will be out November 18th. And then,
Amazing.
yeah, you guys should check that out. It's going to be a fun ride. It's a conversation starter. And then you can find me at Jolene_Rodriguez_ on Instagram. I don't know how long I'll have Instagram because I don't know. I don't know if it's for me, but that's where you can find me for now. And
I've been
then,
enjoying your stories.
yeah,
I'm following along.
yeah, I'm not really into Instagram. It's just like the stuff that I have to post for that my daughter and my team makes me post. But I just like to like I rather just be like just live like under the radar. But you know, um, but yeah, that's where you can find me. And then on the World Wide Web, yeah, I sure you just put my name in there, you can find me. I don't know, possibly. I haven't checked lately, so we'll see.
Oh, you can
Oh,
find
I did
it.
a lot of checking.
Yeah, yeah, you can
Fair. All right.
You have been found, my friend.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
Rachel,
thank
I'm
you,
so happy
Jolene.
that I did a deep dive on you through email, just because email connected us. And then I was like, who is this woman? Found your podcast, learned that you had twins, and was like, but I was very transparent when I met you and told you, like, I just researched 3 hours about you this morning and listened to your whole podcast starting from March. So,
I mean, I couldn't have loved you more for that. Like, I felt like you beelined at this party, which was full of amazing, notable people. Like, this was a stacked party, and you came to the PR person and you were like, hey, let's have this conversation.
yeah.
So I was smitten with you, and I'm so happy we had this deep dive, and I just feel really lucky to know you. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeana. Thank you both.
Thank you. Thank you, Jolene. Now our lives are better for it.
Yes.
Very sweet.
I am in awe of Jolene. If I ever feel like I've had a hard situation to navigate, I can just stop and think, Jolene has done more and persevered through much harder circumstances, and she'll be a continual inspiration.
Yeah, and she's probably up right now doing more than me.
Well, that she wakes up early by choice
Yeah.
and is functional.
Yeah.
Also, she gave me credit for being a morning person, and it was actually a complete misunderstanding. So
She's like, she's a badass morning person. I respect her. And you're like, actually?
yes, and I did tell her this in person, but I feel like I need to own it.
Yeah.
So she thought I was up so early, like
Mhm.
really getting after it, sending emails,
Yeah.
but she's on Pacific time and I'm
Mhm.
on Central time. And I had an early flight to go to this event where I
Yeah.
met her in LA. So it was the one morning ever that I was sending emails at, say, 6:30 Chicago
Right.
time, 4:30 her time. And she got this notion that I'm an incredible early riser, and
A
it's
true
not
boss babe.
true.
I feel like now that I'm living on Eastern time, by the way, Rachel and I are now in the same location. Before we were recording virtually, and we get to record this outro together,
Yes.
which is a delight. But now that I live in Eastern time, I should just make it a habit in the morning to send emails to people in California, to just like at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time, start emailing people in California just to see what kind of accolades I get.
Yes, I actually am of the mindset that it's rude to email people too early in the morning, because who wants to wake up to that? But in this one
Oh, yeah.
instance, it gave Jolene and I a great start.
Oh yeah, I want the gold star though. I want the gold star. Oh, so wait, Rachel, we definitely have show and tell to do, but I would like to talk to you for a minute about this feeling that it's rude to email people early. What are your etiquette rules about email timing? Please tell me.
Maybe rude is an overstatement, but I know that I don't love to wake up to a lot of emails and feel like just as I'm emerging into my day, I have a to-do list waiting, or there's people expecting to hear from me. I like when emails trickle in during business hours.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to land a pitch or a request or something. So a person in California wakes up at 6:30 in the morning and has a message from me. That's my own thing. Maybe other people love to feel as though the email is off their plate and somebody else can receive it.
I like it. And I also, okay, so I think that there are some things about work 1.0 that we miss. Work 1.0 meaning when like we weren't connected all the time. We didn't bring our laptops and email home. We weren't connected on our phones. Work 1.0 had a start and a stop. And I think what we miss about a start and a stop is a start and a stop. It's an actual start and a stop.
Yes, I try to explain this to people who are younger than I am. When I had my first job, I only could work at the office because I didn't have a BlackBerry. I had a flip phone. So I would take the L, get to my office, say 8:30 in the morning downtown, open my computer up, desktop, and that was my day. And then when I left at, say, 6 p.m., I was off the clock. There was I didn't have a laptop at home. I didn't have Wi-Fi at home. I didn't have anything on my phone. So there was a real finite amount of time that you worked. And I think that was very healthy.
Yeah.
There was also fax machines.
Yes. I will tell you, Rachel, that I entered the workforce in 2000. Well, we'll say 2008 because I graduated then, but I worked on a campaign, which was a very different experience than an office job. But my first office job, it had such an in-person culture, and we were there so early. We've talked about this. We were there between like 4 and 5 in the morning that I got so burned out. The swine flu came along. This is my one true like big lie I've told in my life. I faked that I had the swine flu to be able to work from home.
What? What?
I pretended to have contracted the swine flu to be able to work from home because I was so burned out on going to the office and only being able to work there. So I do think work 2.0. I hate lying and I hate lies. So Chris Pisney, who was my manager at the time, I'm so sorry that you had to sterilize my desk. I'm so
First of all,
sorry.
Being that you do have a pretty low immune system and you are often sick, it is believable that you have the swine flu.
I'm sick all the time. I was really tired.
No, I like some aspects of our work culture today, including work from home for sure.
Yes.
But I do think there's something to be said for being able to disengage with your work and have it bound a little bit by start time, end time. But anyways, I think Jolene, full circle here.
Full circle, Jolene.
Clearly works a lot, is a really engaged family member, a wonderful human being, is running this nonprofit, is running a film studio. Yeah. I'm pretty in awe of her.
Yeah, she's a badass. Jolene, come hang out with us in Chicago anytime. She wanted to come for an in-person interview.
Yes, Jolene, thank you for chatting with us and come to Chicago.
Yeah. We can't wait to show you Chicago in the summer.
Okay, show and tell.
Show and tell. Please go first, Rachel. I'm so excited.
Okay, so I need to actually read off a document because I feel as though he said it better than I could ever say it.
Do you want me to look at you while you read or look away?
Whatever you want to do.
Okay.
But there's a writer named Derek Thompson that I really admire. I first discovered him when he wrote the book Hitmakers a number of years ago. And I remember nothing, but this line was so good. It was, content is king, but distribution is the kingdom. And this was a prescient line because it's before I feel like the attention economy exploded. So Derek, very wise, would love to connect with you. I just started following him on Substack and he had this great post about attention and he used an analogy around a water pitcher. So I want to loop this in. Yeah. So I'm going to quote Derek here. He said, I'm thinking of a game. The rules are simple. Every morning you have a full pitcher of water and many empty cups. By the day's end, you pour all the water from the pitcher into the cups. The goal, pour the water into the right cups. Sounds like a weird game, I know, but there's a catch. You have been playing this game your whole life, and the game is attention. You are the pitcher. The water is your time, your 17 or so daily hours of waking consciousness, all your care and focus and feeling. So I thought about that and how I'm not pouring my water very well. And why is Instagram getting so much water? And other areas of my life that could use more connectivity and care are probably experiencing a drought. And I thought it was just a really great visual exercise of where are you pouring your energy and attention all day long and what cups are you neglecting, right? And I felt we could all probably review our day a little bit and think about what we're pouring out and where, and if it warrants that. And so to end, I think he just wrapped it up so beautifully. So I'm going to quote him one more time. Derek said, our attention is a unique resource. Bodies degrade, wealth rises and falls, reputations come and go. But attention refreshes daily. The morning's pitcher is always full. The morning cups are always empty. The game begins again. And it's a game that you can win today, no matter how many times you've lost. So this week, this is Derek, I wrote myself a note and taped it to my desk where I can't miss it. Whose cup did you fill today?
Oh,
right?
Interesting.
Yes. Every day you get a complete reset and you can decide what to do with your water pitcher.
I feel like, okay, so love Derek Thompson. And Rachel and I, before we started taping, he is a really interesting author too, co-authored a book with Ezra Klein, and another incredible journalist and podcaster.
Oh, and he writes for The Atlantic.
And he writes for just super smart guy who follows political, economical trends very closely, but also it feels like through that writing, he's almost like doing some like self-work and discovery, because he usually has, I won't say a pessimistic tone to his writing. I will say more of like the way pessimists call themselves realists. I think I think he has a very pragmatic, realist, slightly grim take. But that to me sounds like someone who's kind of doing some self-discovery and a little self-work and has looked at his life and is doing a time audit.
Oh, I like that, a time audit.
Yeah. So there are several authors, including the one in my show and tell.
Oh, let's do your show and tell.
Well, no. Do you have anything else to say about that? And how are you going to implement it in your life?
I have to think about how I'm going to implement, but maybe I write the post-it also, and then try to stop myself as I'm doing something that feels like a time suck, which would be my phone, and say like, do I need to pour more energy into this device? Yeah. Or could I text a friend I haven't talked to in a while and say hi? Could I leave somebody a voice note? Could I go cuddle with my kid on the couch, even if they don't want to and I just do? So just sort of auditing in real time, what am I doing?
Yeah. Okay, so time audit. Researcher, author Laura Vanderkam.
I knew you were going to have another piece of data.
Yep.
Please build.
Okay, so sometimes I feel like my brain holds on to no proper nouns, but lots of facts. So I'm so glad that I remembered Laura Vanderkam's name. Gotta say, it's probably the creatine, Rachel. So
Jeana really wants me to take creatine. Side
really
note.
Hard on this.
Yes.
It's the most studied supplement. Linked to a lower instance of dementia. Anyway, Laura Vanderkam studies time and how we spend it and how we remember it. And the first thing she advocates for, remember how we talked about like the zip files of life?
Yes, and compressed memories.
Memories. That's one big thing that comes out of her research. Her book, I Know How She Does It, is one great resource if you want to time track.
Okay.
Time tracking might feel like a swear to anyone who's worked at an agency because time tracking is sort of that dreaded task. But if you treat this as like a joy, a delight, I'm tracking fun, I'm tracking time with friends, I'm also tracking time doom scrolling so that you can kind of look at your week, color code it, and make a decision on where your attention goes. But I feel like Derek's doing some time audits on his life. If I had to guess. So good for you, Derek.
Thanks, Derek.
I'm going to read a little bit too, because what I brought for show and tell is the book, The Fun Habit. It is by the author Mike Rucker, who's a PhD. He researches a lot in positive psychology. Rachel and I, P.S., had coffee before this. So I did word vomit and get excited about this already. Positive psychology is really interesting, but some think that it lacks the depth of the full range of emotions because some say it focuses only on the positive. I would say we deserve both. Positive, we deserve the big waves. And I would say Mike Rucker, the author of this book, The Fun Habit, believes that too. Anyway, what I brought is actually a supplement to what you brought.
Okay.
So he, in his book, All About Fun, gives you basically a way to categorize the things you do and track your time. And it's the play system, and it has 4 quadrants.
I'm in.
Yeah. Okay. P stands for pleasing. Those are activities that are enjoyable to do and don't require a lot of energy. So like chatting with friends, things that just like naturally light you up.
Okay.
Okay. Living. These are activities that are challenging, that require a lot of energy, but result in a deeper sense of fulfillment. Okay. So Rachel, for you, like you've been nurturing a relationship at the Wall Street Journal. You've always wanted to get a piece there. You land the piece. That feeling.
That's a living example.
That's a living example. You're living in your purpose. You're doing your relationship thing and it's paying off and you feel really good about it. Agonizing. That's the A. Activities that are difficult and unenjoyable. So for a lot of people, they put housework in the agonizing category. Grocery shopping in the I like to grocery shop. Not all the time though. And then the last one is yielding. So these are activities that are not enjoyable, but are also not agonizing. They are neutral. They don't add anything to you. They just suck your time. Doom scrolling.
Oh,
Instagram.
Fair enough. Okay.
So if you walk away, so a good example of this is if you are sitting on the couch, you're doing nothing, you pull out your phone, you scroll. Stand up, an hour has gone by. You've yielded that hour. You've gained nothing. You've lost nothing but time.
Yes.
So he advocates for spending as much time as possible in the living category and the pleasing category. Because if you supplement agonizing activities with pleasing and living, then you tend to not agonize as much.
This is fascinating.
Yeah.
I love a system.
I love a system.
Okay, so let's repeat this. So it's play, living, agonizing, and yielding.
Pleasing. So it's play. And it's
play is the acronym.
Play is the acronym. Pleasing, living, agonizing, and yielding.
And if you can do more of the pleasing and living activities, you'll minimize the negative impact of the agonizing, which is going to be part of life.
Yeah.
But you just want to perhaps feel the pressure of it less.
Exactly. And the yielding activities like doom scrolling, the nothing, don't add anything to your life. And in fact, like if you're doing it to put off the agonizing things, it makes you agonize more.
Okay, the fun habit. I need to look this up.
I would also, one last thing about the fun habit. It just advocates in general for adding more fun and play into your life. He has lots of systems, lots of acronyms, lots of ways to look at play that are a little different. There's a specific chapter around parents and children and how to look at play as positive for both of you. So play should be fun. One of his rules is play should be fun for everyone. It's not play if you're not all having fun. Anyway, I would highly recommend reading that book.
I like this. Thank you.
Yes. I had to read from the sheet too. I love that for us. Rachel, anything we forgot to mention about Jolene or her wonderful lives in coffee?
Oh, you remember.
The end of the season.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Really need to take the creatine from my memory. Okay. We discussed over coffee a bit of a big milestone, which is that Jolene and today, this marks our 25th episode. And it feels significant because we took such a flyer on this project. You have been such an amazing driver of this podcast coming to fruition. We've had really incredible conversations with very smart, interesting, real people that have such substance and insight. We've laughed. We've definitely cried. Yeah. So 25 feels like the right marker to end a season. Yeah. So this marks the completion of season 1. Yay! And then we'll embark on a season 2. But I just like the idea of wrapping a bow around these 25 episodes as our maiden voyage into podcasting and all that we've learned so far.
Yeah, we'll share a little wrap up of what we've learned. We can't wait to share it with you. But what a ride, Rachel. You have been such a great partner through season 1. So let's keep doing this. What do you think?
I love it. I think our joy metrics are strong. And
we're living.
We are. We're in the living stage. And also just thank you to everybody who has listened and shared feedback and been affirming. I know it probably feels like nothing to the person who sent a text or a DM with an encouraging comment, but it actually meant so much. And we hold those very tightly and we share them and we reflect on them. So please know that any type of affirmation or encouragement lands and resonates deeply for us.
I would say our text message exchange at this point is 15% screenshot of people being nice to us. Well, this was another episode of The Connection Code, a podcast about friends, connections, work, and everything in between. It's a production by 2 friends, Rachel Gilman Rischall and Jeana Anderson Cohen. By episode 25, I was able to do this off book, Rachel.
I noticed you're memorizing. You have memorized our outro. Good job.
Thank you so much to Jolene for being an amazing guest today. Thank you to Ben Cleaver for editing. And thanks to all of you for listening, sending us lovely voice notes. Keep doing that on Instagram, on LinkedIn. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.